Hey besties, it's your favorite introvert, and come with me to make a mutton karahi inspired biryani. Now, this was certainly an experiment from the beginning, so we kind of just winged it. The chicken karahi from last week was such a hit, so I decided to try the same spices with some mutton. Naturally, a good start to any biryani begins with some golden onions in a good amount of ghee. Once that was nice and brown, I took it out of the pot and I added the meat. Now, this was marinated the night before with all the spices on the screen. And just like the karahi, I did the meat first with all its beautiful spices and let that cook out about halfway before adding in the tomatoes. Next, I put the rice on. I did basmati rice and a good handful of speed traps, some lentils, and the potatoes. Next, I deep fried some onions and I added some yogurt and I just blended this together because I really wanted a good caramelized onion flavor, and this was absolutely amazing in this biryani. I think would work so well in any type of biryani. It's such an amazing way to add a huge burst of flavor. Once the meat was nice and soft, it was time to add some green monsters, our deep fried potatoes, and these were also 3/4 of the way cooked. And then I just added the rice on top. It was at this point I started mixing and I realized I completely forgot to add my lentils. I gave this a good mix and put the whole pot back into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes for all those beautiful flavors to combine. Of course, there has to be masala dal, so I boiled and blended some pea dal, braised some onions, chilies, and garlic before adding in some turmeric and masala. I let that cook down before adding in the tomatoes, and once that was nicely combined, I just added that straight to the dal with some salt, give it a good mix, and of course, you have to add some butter or some ghee for some extra richness and your cholesterol. I feel like biryani is such a labor of love, and I was super happy with how this turned out. I was so impressed with the flavor. It really did taste like a mutton karahi married a pot of biryani. That is how amazing this tasted. It was spicy, it was flavorful, it was not dry at all. It was so moist because of the gravy that you get from making the karahi first. I hope you enjoyed my version of a mutton karahi biryani, and don't forget to follow us for more wholesome cooking.